Right there. MDMF, Money Spent, pretty good track right there. Check them out, MDMF, on Facebook. You can follow them on Twitter as well with Garen, as I think he's the manager, Gerren, and they're big supporters, and we're big supporters of them too. And don't forget, that was MDMF, Money Spent, on 562CityLife Radio on kbeach.org at Cal State University, Long Beach.
What do you think about that track, the man?
I think that's a pretty good track, man. I think just because right now with my money situation, I was when you get to that good comfort space where it's like, man, I'm saving, then boom, car note, or just something that goes up with your car, then money goes down, and but when it gets in situations like that with me, man, I just remember money comes and goes, man. So, and it definitely gets spent. It's meant to be spent.
Another thing my father taught me is exactly that: is money's meant to flow.
Yeah.
That money is like it's not real, anyways. It's meant to just be exchanged and traded. It's meant to flow.
Right.
And actually, if you listen to the lyrics of that song too, that's why I want to kind of key in on this particular point. You hear him talking about, weed and drinks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And at first you might think that, they're just talking about smoking weed and drinking, it's kind of typical stuff. But then you kind of really listen to what he's saying. He's saying, I'm wasting money on these things. Mm-hmm. Like, damn, is this really the kind of thing I should be spending my money on?
Right.
Buying weed and buying drinks and just going out and partying and just kind of trivial stuff.
Yeah.
Not really like investing their money into things that will kind of come back to them.
Right.
That's something I like that, because that's something that kind of finally hit me at a certain point in my life too. I think it's about the same point in life that they're at right now.
Yeah.
Kind of like those early 20s.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe a year or two after 21, when you go 21, a lot of kids, they go, cool, I can go to the bars and drink and go crazy and everything.
Right.
And after a while, you're like, damn, I can't even afford to buy dinner tonight.
Yeah, man.
Like all my money truly is spent, and now you're like desperately waiting for the next check to come.
Yeah.
And you kind of find yourself getting on that treadmill.
Right.
Rat race. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a good self-reflection track. That's why I really like that track. I hope people listen to the words of it and kind of think like, damn, are you just kind of trapping yourself in the rat race on that little treadmill?
Man. Yeah, money's a crazy issue, man. And that we could do whole 4 shows just on that, man. We should get a consultant in here on how to help us make money. Or
get a little Robert Kiyosaki action going.
Kawasaki. Cool.
Robert.
Or I was talking about Robert, too.
Don't ever correct me again.
Sorry about that.
The truth, you know what I mean?
Where's your off mic button?
Don't let me get my audio clip back in here.
I got a tight one I'm about to drop in here, though. It's going to be tight, man. Okay. So, this is what we're going to do, guys. We got a next guest in here, Kate Braid. She is one of the organizing some of the events. But before that, don't forget, every Wednesday morning, 10 a.m., you listen to Matt and the Man on K-Beach Radio, 562 Radio on kbeach.org, or Cal State University, Long Beach, CSULB, LBUSD, never mind. So, Matt, if you would do the honors and bring on our next guest.
And stay tuned as well. After our show, coming up is the Prime Spot Radio with the Prime Spot, Carrie. I can't remember Carrie's last name.
Prime Spot.
Carrie from the Prime Spot Radio coming up next as well. Also, keep a lookout for Greater Long Beach Radio. Dave Walanga. Dave Walanga is also on kbeach.org now. Keep a lookout for his show. Dave is a definite G with his journalism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And also want to give a plug to Drinking Buddies Radio. They had us on many moons ago as a special guest, and we've had them on
John Trapper in the house.
On the old platform.
Right.
John Trapper for bringing us on. So thank you very much again, kbeach.org, California State Long Beach University. Now, moving on to the main topic of the show. Meeting regarding splitting Bixby Knolls, redistricting of the 7th and 8th District. Now, this is turning into a little bit of a heated battle between Councilmember James Johnson and Councilmember Ray Gabelich. Ray Gabelich is currently the Councilmember of the 8th District, and James Johnson is a Councilmember of the 7th District. And basically, so give us a little background, if you don't mind, the man, on the whole the Census Bureau data and kind of how that's driving what's going on with this redistricting.
I'll give a background just a bit on what redistricting is before we go into the with the council members. Basically, every 10 years, the census comes out, and according to those numbers, Assembly, Senate, congressional, city districts, they have to realign themselves according to their residents and their population. I believe every 5 years, Long Beach has the option to do it every 5 years, but every 10 years they normally do it. Now, there was something going on with the council members, Johnson and Gabelich, at a recent city council meeting that just kind of threw people off a bit, especially the people in the 7th and 8th districts. So, Kate, let's welcome Kate to the show on kbeach.org and 562CityLife Radio to tell us a little bit more about what that was all about.
Kate, good morning. Thank you for coming on. Sorry for jumping in there. Basically, Kate, if you could kind of introduce yourself, let everybody kind of know who you are, and then talk a little bit about the meeting that's coming up, and we'll kind of get into that.
Great. Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Try that one.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
There we go.
There you go. We
You
got
can
you.
hear me?
We're still learning,
All right.
people. Don't forget.
Thank you for having me here. This is great. Thanks. Basically, the meeting that's coming up is to talk about the plan of action. You can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, as you were talking about earlier in the show, the two council person in that city council meeting where this was decided or talked about originally was very nasty. It got very heated, and so we've got. Basically, we're going to be out at First Fridays talking to the people that enjoy coming to Bixby Knolls, enjoy the art, enjoy the music, enjoy the food, and talking to them about supporting us. But basically, Councilman Johnson from the 7th District has decided that he would like to try to take right out of the middle of Bixby Knolls and half of the business district right down the middle of Atlantic for his 7th city council district. And we're kind of not too sure why, but we all, I live in Bixby Knolls. I'm a resident there and an activist, and we're a very tight-knit community, and we feel really strongly about splitting our community right down the middle of Atlantic is bad news for the business community, which is really vital now, and right down the middle of our neighborhood. Just to give you a little background before we talk a little further, I understand that we are only 700 voters out of balance with the 7th District, and his proposal is to take 3,800 residents, which is, why? I mean, I think that's the most obvious question. Why do you think you need 3,800 when 700 voters is plenty?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, what is the community sense in Bixby Knolls like with this going on? Do people care about it, or is it just kind of, are you pulling people's teeth to make them understand how important this is, or are people like, let's keep it with minimal changes?
People in Bixby Knolls are mad as hell, I'll tell you. And it's very funny because if you drive through there and you see all the old colonial houses and the big Spanish, you think, oh, they're probably laid back, whatever. But I guess it's because we fought the airport so long, but we're tight, and it's like, boom, we got a challenge. Boom, they're meeting, they're canvassing.
Right.
Every weekend before the city council vote on the 2nd, we're going to be on the 4th, 5th, we're going to be canvassing the neighborhoods. The community meeting should be quite exciting. And
now, what made you, be a part of organizing this? How did this come out? Did someone tell you to organize, or was it you just being a community member? You wanted to organize this event?
Kate Braid is a force.
Okay. Tell us more about
Braid
that for
does
sure.
what she wants to do, and she's pissed.
Okay. Let us know more about that.
Were you involved in the fighting of the airport expansion?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so your roots kind of go back there, or do they go back even further?
Oh, actually, I'm from Seattle originally, and my dad and I, and in Seattle, they still have the caucus system for bringing in presidential candidates. And my dad and I ran a caucus when I was 16.
Okay.
So you're very active and historic. You have a background in community organizing.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
But you bring up another good point. I'm past president of Long Beach Heritage, which is the group in town that protects the buildings, the historic buildings, not photos, not oral. That's the Historical Society. But Long Beach Heritage is very much into preservation. And the few older buildings we have are because of an advocacy work there. And I met with Councilman Johnson yesterday, and I was pretty shocked when he told me that, we're basically talking about the homes south of Del Amo on either side of Orange. And he told me, oh, those houses all look the same. And I said, I like you, you're a nice guy, but don't repeat that until you drive the neighborhood because
that's where the Carmelitos is too, right?
It's the houses on the east side of Orange are later. They're sort of small post-war housing.
Right.
And then the ones on the west side, we've got our colonial, we've got our Spanish. They're large compared. They're older, a lot older, and most of them were custom or semi-custom homes.
I live in the neighborhood now, actually, as well. and it's one of the most diverse architecture neighborhoods I've seen, certainly within Long Beach. I mean, Long Beach has a wide range of architecture, anyways. But I mean, yeah, it's crazy how it's beautiful too. Like totally different, totally different, totally different, totally different. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, run us through, I guess, what can people expect at this event? What's going to happen? People are just going to be there? Is it going to be a big complaining session, or is there...
No, we believe in keeping it positive. Basically, the city council agreed on 9 points before they started the redistricting to keep neighborhoods together, to divide things up on arterials. So we'll go over that at the meeting and basically try to educate our citizens on here's what it is. Because a lot of people are talking and, doing things together and then separately, but it'll be to educate our citizens who, okay, what do we need, and probably focus on a good turnout at that city council meeting.
Now, is this an 8th district event, or is it kind of, are you guys inviting Johnson in there, Councilmember Johnson, to attend as well, or who's all invited to this?
I think it's for everybody. It may not say that on the flyer, but it's open. We love everybody in Bixby Knolls.
Okay. Who will be facilitating it? Would it be you facilitating the event, or is it...
I think the councilwoman, Councilman Gabelich will.
Okay.
And, but, as you go to Bixby Knolls for the First Fridays event, and I heard you guys talking about how fun that is, that would basically mean that half of the district would be, the 8th district would be on the west side of the street, and the 7th district would be on the east side of the street.
Right.
Now, let me, maybe, I don't know if you're the right person to ask this, but let's say it happened with, because with that being said, Bixby Knolls gets split into 2 districts, right? Now, the BKBIA, Blair and them, they'll be in both districts. So, do you think that'll be kind of weird? Because he'll have to cater to the 7th districts and then the 8th district. Because to him, it's all Bixby Knolls, because he's not divided by districts. He's just Bixby Knolls. So that's kind of interesting right there. I just thought of that.
I think it'd be really hard for him because he's had terrific support from Ray Gabelich's office. And also, they work together. There's not, another person and another, thing too. But, I think that'd be tough.
That would be an interesting challenge. Now, basically, what's the goal from just kind of an inside, baseball politics standpoint of this, right? Like, what's your goal for the meeting? Like, leaving the meeting, what is your goal? What is Councilmember Gabelich's goal to happen? Like, are you trying to get apply public pressure to have James back, Councilmember Johnson, back off of the proposal? Are you trying to change a certain council member's vote towards splitting towards his redistricting proposal? What's the kind of the goal there?
Exactly. What we'd like to do at that meeting, and for people